What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of In the Bag podcast. Something doesn't feel right. It's much better. What's up, family? It's boy Kenny B. Hawkins here, and today I am back again with another podcast. First podcast in the past 3 years, since February 26th of 2020, right before the pandemic. Some may say the pandemic. So today I just wanted to get back in the groove of podcasting. I really wanted to challenge myself this year, and it's just been so long since I posted on this channel with this distribution platform. So hopefully I'm going to rebrand and be way more consistent. That's my goal. Also, I wanted to restructure the podcast. Obviously, last time I was doing this podcast, it was not just me. I was co-hosting with my girl. Now this will be a solo pod. We can get into it at a different time, but essentially the biggest changes that are going to be happening during this podcast are going to be, number one, I'm going to be teaching actionable steps about plays, life hacks, and things like that. I just wanted to add a lot of value and really center this podcast around staying in your bag, hence the name In the Bag. Number two, I really wanted to give news and market updates for investing, what's happening with the economy and things like that, and making sure that everybody is well informed so they could be well prepared. And number three, I just wanted to give my own opinion on things happening in popular culture, from sports to just entertainment, and hopefully I could brand myself better. The past 3 years have been quite a historic time. Pandemic happened. In my own career trajectory, I've been around a couple different jobs and job opportunities. I'm gonna get into that. And also I am gearing up to try to move across the country. So a lot of big things have happened. After shooting this podcast, I went ahead and started bouncing around working in different hospitals. I was able to work in operations at a healthcare company and finishing up my degree. That's the main things that have been happening. I also have went through time of like rebirth, I want to say, mentally, where I've just been, getting over like a mental hump, call it like a slump or depression. I just really wasn't in a good headspace. I wasn't treating myself with grace or compassion, and I definitely wasn't taking care of myself. So now I have been the most disciplined I've ever been in my life. In the past year, I've been in shape. I've been able to fix my diet, fix my habits, and really just lock in. And then this year, I'm looking to take it to a whole nother level and really see what my potential is, because I feel like I have a lot of potential. I've had major accomplishments in the past few years. I wrote a book, designed a healthcare software without knowing anything about software, and I was just able to make really good relationships with people. So I just want to keep building on that if I can and see where it will take me. So that's basically what the updates have been on me. I want to get into some actionable steps though. I think the most important thing that I have learned in my time transitioning through different lifestyle choices and kind of just building myself up has been goal setting. Most people don't actually know how to set proper goals, and therefore they can't actually execute on goals. I would say that's my biggest strength, is execution. And the big reason is because I have very, very precise goal setting. So first step, write down all of your goals. Second step, you got to assess if those are even good goals. What makes a good goal versus a bad goal? So I always say this. I tell all my friends this. I have close friends who have really helped. And this is the first piece of advice that I always try to offer to them. If your goals don't scare you, they're probably not big enough. You don't want to limit yourself or think too small. I have a friend who's into social media marketing and things like that, and they wanted to start putting out content. They wanted to start getting brand deals. And I asked them, how many brand deals? I think they said 2. And I said, okay, that's a goal, but what if it was 10? Even if you don't hit that goal of 10, so you get half of that, that's still more than double your initial goal of 2, trying to be realistic. So it's just food for thought. I always think you should overshoot and really be ambitious in terms of your goals. And you have to be okay with the fact that if people don't think it'll work, it's probably a good goal, because most people don't actually know what constitutes a good goal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will tell you that's not realistic because they don't have self-belief and they don't see it in themselves. I believe it's self-projection almost of their own insecurity. So step one, write down all your goals, assess them, look at them. see, are these realistic, quote unquote? And do they scare you? That's really the number one metric I use. Do my goals scare me? If the answer is no, you should make some goals that do scare you. If your answer is yes, then I think you should work on a plan to execute those goals. And just remember, anything is possible. Goals that could scare you include like, should I break up with this person? That's a scary thing, but it might be what is needed to propel your life. Should I move? Should I stay? Should I diet? Should I start working out? Should I go to therapy? All these things are goals that can be scary, but will propel you further, because most of the time scary things do, or things that are difficult end up being the most worth it. So second pro tip or life hack or just like actionable step is to utilize technology. We're in an age where everybody has a supercomputer in their pocket. Utilize that technology for your advantage. Like I just in the past 6 months wrote 4 books. I'm gonna drop them. There's gonna be details. But the reason I wrote these books was to add a lot of value that people could functionally use, walk away. And I leverage technology. I use AI, I use voice to text apps and things like this. I leveraged my relationships with people I met on the internet as well. So to like do research, it just helps a lot to take advantage of the times that we're in, because our grandparents could not. I'm first generation in this country. If my grandparents were able to utilize some of the things I'm able to utilize, they would be way further. You know what I'm saying? So we live in a time where we have a lot of blessings. Who are we to throw them away? I don't know. That's just how I think about it. This new thing, ChatGPT, is out. I'm sure everybody's talking about it. Everybody's making content. ChatGPT, the beta was released and then it just closed. Now they're going to make the newest version with like 100 times more data going into it. I personally think that you could utilize this for a bunch of things. Me personally, I'm only going to talk about things that I've personally done myself. I use ChatGPT for email, for professional and business copywriting, for content ideas, for scripts, for cold call, for business opportunities and things like this, for marketing. You could use it for research. You could use it as a study tool if you're in school. So there's a bunch of things that you could utilize this AI for. It's based out of the company OpenAI, I'm pretty sure. It's a company Elon is bought into. So whenever they release the next version and that launches, I'll be sure to hop on here and let you guys know and give you an update. But definitely look into that, because no matter what industry you're in, from a chef to a CEO, you could utilize technology to leverage and get your time back. That's what it's all about, right? Building on top of your skill sets that you have, so you don't have to sacrifice your time just for money. You could actually use your time to develop happiness. Yeah, and then I just wanted to talk about quickly touching on the fact that I'm making changes in my own health. Some of the biggest actionable steps that I found, there's 4 or 5 of them that I think just really, really, really will help you build on top of any skills that you want to, and help you just get your life in order. Number 1, the most important thing you could do is fixing your sleep. I think his name is Andrew Huberman. He's a neurologist at Stanford. He has a great podcast. He drops great articles about just optimizing your brain. You know, this controls the vehicle that we're in, thus it controls our experience of our life. So getting 8 hours of sleep, quality sleep, deep REM sleep is key. Get off your phones an hour before bed. Stop eating disgusting foods an hour before bed. If you could wake up naturally, try to wake up naturally. You know what I'm saying? Deep sleep will help recovery. It'll help brain function. When you're in a deep sleep, your brain has time to process everything that it's been through in a day. So it'll reduce stress, anxiety, and your ability to just process information at a higher level. So that's a pro tip. Number 2, just to optimize your health, I would say eat cleaner. Cut out the sugars, the carbs, the processed foods that are just ultra processed, and like the things that are not serving you. Make sure that you are not fueling addictions to sugar. Make sure that you are able to get all of your supplements in. If you can't get like 3 meals in, at least supplement to kind of get some of that essential vitamins, that essential nutrients. But nutrient dense foods is super important. Personally, what I do is I get all my produce from farmers markets, locally grown and super healthy. It's not actually that expensive. I spend maybe like $60 every couple weeks on produce. So it works out great for me. And then I end up getting my meat organic, grass-fed, or just not chemically induced as much from Sprouts or something similar. Personally, me, I like game meat. I eat elk, venison, all those things that people find gross. I just feel jacked after I eat it, so that's why I do it. Fish is another great option though, if you're into that. Yeah, I would say probably the most important thing that's helped me out is to stop smoking. Stop smoking, don't do hookah, chill on the alcohol. Alcohol is poison, it doesn't actually serve you. Or if you're not gonna stop, at least reduce it or be more mindful, because these things will lead to more inflammation in your body. It'll lead to, if you're smoking, it'll lead to probably more calories that are unnecessary and unhealthy. It could fuck up your sleep patterns. It could do a lot of things that just aren't good for you, and you don't want to build a dependency. You got to ask yourself, why are you using, everyone has a vice, but like at the end of the day, why do you use your vice? That's really where you have to like draw the line and be honest with yourself, which I feel like is the hardest thing to do, you know? Yeah, so the last two, super simple. Obviously, everyone's going to say you need to exercise, get active daily. I've been exercising, being active every single day for a few weeks now, and I've noticed a huge difference. In the past week alone, I've dropped 10 pounds. So that's a lot, but I'm looking to drop another 10, probably a bit more patiently. I'll probably give it about 12, 14 days. Really just focus on my diet and build up the habit of getting active every single day. And on top of that, make sure you start your days with a good dose of vitamin D. Like sunlight for the brain, it does something to you. It's a really positive result of starting your days with a little bit of sunlight, whether that's going for a walk or whether that is just going sunbathing or just hanging out outside. At the end of the day, it will increase dopamine. It'll increase a lot of things in your body that helps to regulate itself, at least from a biological standpoint, at least. So yeah, a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Like this will be a podcast that is essentially focused on how to be in your bag, whether that's financially, whether that's mentally, whether that's just regarding your health, whatever that means. So I just wanted to go over a couple of things that have happened recently in the news and give some market updates for all my investors out there who are in their bag. So in the past month, Bitcoin has been up 38%. It's right now at around 23K, which is the highest it's been in a very long time. Will this fuel the rest of the crypto market? I don't know, but I do tend to be bullish on Bitcoin specifically. I think we'll get over that 60K mark by end of year. I think probably we'll get over that 33K mark by July. This is not investment advice. This is just my opinion. I'm not a fiduciary. I have to say that because the SEC boys, those alphabet boys, will come for you, boy. And that's, pause. That's not gonna happen. Some more news that just came out. So SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, the owner and creator of FTX, he is in hot water again. He's already been caught up with the feds. But it just came out that more than 1 in every 3 Congress members are involved with FTX. And the more that this investigation is going on, the messier it just seems to get. So for those who don't know, it was a crypto exchange. He was a 30-year-old billionaire who is the face of changing crypto. And crazy news. They lost 152 billion in 3 days. Yeah, 3 days time. So a bunch of stuff's coming out. He was playing with people's money and now he got caught up. So just be wary of that. But the effects of that are happening, and I'm interested to see what happens when Congress members are tied to somebody who's doing this high level of fraud. I guess it's not that high level because his ass got caught. The news gets pretty crazy. It ended up like him and like 16 other people, they had like a sex orgy island where they did whatever they did. I don't really know how they get down, but obviously, yeah, so I'm just on the lookout for that to see how that affects not only Congress, but it affects the crypto markets as well. Also recently what happened is the Pfizer CEO, he's under a lot of backlash because the vaccine, I don't even know if I should say that word because of censorship on socials. But I'll just say, yeah, I'll say those shots people were getting, they were shown to be ineffective, under-tested, and hazardous to a degree. Cardiological reports are coming out that are less than desirable, I'll say that. And it is interesting because I said this years ago. And just a disclaimer, I am vaccinated because I've had to travel out of the country in the past few years, but it has come out that when the vaccine was released, it was under-tested. When the vaccine was released as well, the CDC and the World Health Organization changed the definition of what a vaccine actually is. So it's super scary to think about how people were losing their jobs and careers, losing their livelihood because of speaking out against opposition like this in the name of like science and just, you know, making sure that a hypothesis is accurately tested and things like that before it is interjected into just, I don't know, the population. But yeah, so we have to see what's happening with that. The likes of Fauci and a couple of people who were really pushing that movement, they're under backlash after things are coming out, specifically because of reactions of strokes and other hazardous side effects. So that is crazy. I'm gonna wrap up all these pods with either like a over-under session or a Q&A. Over-under, super easy. List of topics. I'm just gonna go off rapid fire and say overrated, underrated. From there, I will do Q&A. I'll get questions from either, I'm building up a community, I'll do it like a daily newsletter, so maybe I could do them from that, or Twitter, or really just wherever I see fit. So a couple things that I want to do for over-under. First and foremost, the Shannon Sharpe situation, him trying to fight the entire Grizzlies in the name of LeBron. I think Shannon Sharpe is underrated because he is the biggest fanboy I've ever seen. He is on LeBron's nuts at all time. And I think everybody needs, you know, a wingman like that. Undivided support, like LeBron is Jesus himself. So that is, I gave Shannon Sharpe underrated for that. Swing trading. I think swing trading is underrated because personally, I just think trading is a great way to have an additional source of income. It is super easy to learn. People think that it is one of those things that is either like you're going to Vegas, going to the casinos, or you need to be like a mathematician, Wall Street whiz. No, either or no. You have to do due diligence, have good patience, be understanding, and spend like 1 to 2 years just doing research so you can understand your trading style, your own temperament, and things of that nature. So I think swing trading is great. It's underrated because you could do it while working a 9 to 5 or working on other businesses. So yeah, that's personally what I like to do. I will swing trade options. Again, I'm not recommending anybody start trading. It is what it is. There's tons of ways to get it. That's just the point of this podcast, to kind of go over a bunch of different ways to stay in your bag. That's just one that I do to stay in mine. So Velma, that new Scooby show, HBO Max, they're normally known for the hottest shows. They're hard hitters, but I just think that this Velma thing is overrated. It got the lowest ranking for an animated show ever, I think. It's like a ranked 1.3 IMDb. I posted a poll on Twitter and I asked, okay guys, is this really as bad as everyone says? Got maybe like 20 something votes. Everybody said, yeah, it's trash. So I checked it out. I kid you not, within 1 minute and 47 seconds, I agreed. It was absolutely basura, trash. Tomato, tomato, tomato. I feel like they just replaced Scooby-Doo with Velma and made her date Shaggy low-key. It felt, I don't know. It's not even entertaining. It's not that funny. And in general, I just think that they could have did so much more with that show. So quiet quitting, that is not giving your all because people in this generation essentially are feeling less loyalty to a job or just the 40-hour work week or the 40-40-40 structure in general. I think that is I'm going to say that's perfectly rated because I don't necessarily agree with you work 40 hours a week for 40 years and you retire on 40% of your income. That's the 40-40-40 rule. I think that that is trash, and it is mostly made to fuel the economy, fuel the wealthy and the government's tax needs. So, yeah, I am a proponent of quiet quitting if you're able to leverage and keep building on your skill sets. If you're not, I think that staying at a place, developing through the highs and lows is also a good option. But at the end of the day, it's like develop your skill sets, develop some type of strategy, develop a plan. Don't just quit because of no reason. So a little backstory on that. And at the end of 2020, I was working at a hospital in microbiome, working in healthcare directly with the C word. And I quit because of the fact that management and me just weren't seeing eye to eye. My schedule was getting crazy while I was finishing up school, and I just didn't see a long-term path to success for myself. So I just quit with no plan and a certain naive confidence that I could just figure it out. And that shit set me back 2 years because I dug myself into a hole that I didn't know was going to be that deep, and I had to crawl out. So last year was really the first year I was able to, find some footing in that bit of chaos. But in general, the most important thing that you could do is stay competitive, have a plan, have options. And too many options is never a bad thing. It could be if you're a person who's indecisive, but then let's circle back to the first thing that I said, which is you need to learn how to execute, and being decisive is a part of that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. I'm going to be dropping pods every Sunday. I'll be doing a live stream every Tuesday. Just a couple more updates. I will be having a daily newsletter, so click the link below to be able to subscribe to that. And then I also, like I said, have 4 books coming out. All of my books will be sold on my own website, Always Stay Hungry. I'm going to use this company to really just leverage all the things that I've been doing, whether it's merch or whether it is the books, whether it's content, and just try to all combine it into one conglomerate. My main goal is I just want to create a brand around pop culture and plays, right? Economics and entertainment. And I just want to merge those two to sell products online. I want to really just focus on books, mentorship / membership, in which you can get perks, additional exclusives, and things of that nature. And last but not least, I just want to add value and build community. So that's what I'm looking to do. This has been really, really fun. I'm excited to do this more often. I think I'm going to do a pod a week. Maybe I'll up it to more. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Like and subscribe, and see you next time.